As governors
Absolutely.
wield more power during this pandemic, some local officials are fighting back. In Illinois, the state's GOP is slamming Democratic Governor J.B. Pritzker's five-phase plan to reopen his state. But as the billionaire governor keeps most of his state in lockdown and slow walks getting residents back to work, his wife reportedly skipped town and went to the estate in Florida. Funny how the rules don't apply to everyone. Joining me now is Illinois House Republican Leader Jim Durkin. Representative, thank you for being here. You said the governor's plan would destroy most businesses in the state. What's your plan to fix it? He says he's putting the health and safety of people first. Is he?
We can do both. And that is the role of the legislature. And as the governor extended his second executive order, it has come to us very quickly that we've lost a good portion of our hospitality industry. We got to look at the numbers. We're at 923,000 Illinoisans who filed for unemployment. We have a hospitality industry, which is 10% of the workforce in Illinois, which has roughly 550,000 employees, lost over 300,000 jobs just within the last month and a half. The governor's plan doesn't make sense. It creates different regions that are based on metrics on when they will be phased back into opening up.
You and the Republicans, when in your conversations with him, you suggested a regional plan, right?
We did, but his regional plan does not make sense because what he does is that he incorporates the city of Chicago with distant suburbs in DuPage County of maybe 100 to 200 people, or in Kendall County, that all have to live by the same metrics that are going to be imposed upon the city of Chicago. A lot of these areas do not have corona cases. They are not experiencing the same suffering that they have in Chicago. And that's why it doesn't make sense. The House Republicans, we've presented a plan which is going to vest more control and authority with the counties. We have a state where we have a great diversity. We have many people in the Chicago area where I live who've been stricken with the illness. Many people have died. But there's parts of southern Illinois that have absolutely no experience with the coronavirus, but they are forced to have to live under the same rules as we do in Chicago because the governor has taken it upon himself to rule the state by executive power without bringing the legislature into the equation to help fix this problem. That is my biggest problem that I have right now. Is that
how long can he do that? How long can he do that, Representative Durkin? I've got 30 seconds. Without legislative approval.
Well, he can do it every 30 days, and there's a lawsuit that is currently pending before the Supreme Court of whether or not he extended his authority. But the governor can call us back in. He has the power to call a special session for us to be able to change the rules where we can actually work remotely. We can do this. His Department of Public Health has put together a plan in which the legislature can meet in a healthy and a safe environment to do our work. We're in the month of May.
Before I let you go,
done with our legislative calendar.
Congressman, before I let you go, there is a very controversial part of his reopening plan that includes houses of worship, people of faith. He's saying no more than 10 people can meet in any church. Now, that strikes me as absurd. I know there's a lawsuit going forward. Your reaction to that when you're dealing with huge cathedrals, not little chapels, all over Chicago and throughout Illinois?
I can walk into Costco and there'll be 1,000 people who are walking around unchecked, but a church who's limited to 10 people with social distancing, it just doesn't make sense. There's so many inconsistencies in this order, and I would hope that, again, this is where the legislature needs to step in to make sense of what is going on. We need to save Illinois. I need to put people back to work. That's the bottom line.
Representative Durkin, thank you, and we will be following your efforts.